Like, you went in public. It's not like you were inside your home having this affair and somebody was like outside from social media being like, what are they doing in here? Like, you were in publicly like kissing and hugging. You were at a public place where maybe you were going to be on camera. Like, that is just a risk. You might think that it's private because it's a dark concert, but often there are these cameras. There is social media everywhere. If you are somebody that is on X, on TikTok specifically, you should know, like, whether it's a good thing or not, everybody's filming all the time.
28-year-old Grace Springer was at the concert at the Gillette Stadium in Boston and captured the moment that has now been viewed 53 million times.
I could have never guessed that it would be such high-profile individuals in the video. I do feel sorry for their partners and spouses that they had to find out this way.
Do you think if they had not tried to hide, Coldplay would have moved on?
100%. I think if they acted natural, no one would have thought twice. What a cute couple. I mean, I'm sure people in their inner circle might have caught something, but I definitely wouldn't have posted that video.
Anyway, here we go. So she brought her underling there to cover for them. The CEO's wife found out about it. She's already removed his last name from her LinkedIn and Facebook. Apparently, many people at the company knew that he was sleazy, previously worked for him. Moral of the story, don't go to a Coldplay concert.
Why do you think that couple was chosen?
If I was directing that show, I would have put them up in a heartbeat. The body language that they were showing and the shot there, it's a good-looking couple. He's got his arms around her. I would have done it 10 times out of 10.
But the fallen HR head appeared more focused on the health of her plants than her marriage when she was spotted for the first time back at her $2.2 million home.
We can only imagine the storm Andy Byron's wife and kids are facing right now. The kiss cam scandal didn't just go viral, it exploded across the internet. How do you wake up, head to work or school, and pretend everything is normal when every glance feels like a judgment, every whisper sounds like your name? We've all felt that creeping paranoia before, but for them, it might not be paranoia at all. Friends, neighbors, even casual acquaintances, chances are they're all talking, and many are laughing.
Who blew the whistle? The two executives caught on that now infamous Coldplay kiss cam were first identified on a TikTok account of someone who apparently works at the company. Oh my God, that looks like astronomer CEO Andy Byron and astronomer chief people officer Kristen Cabot. That's gonna be one awkward board meeting, if not a couple divorces too. Whoever wrote the post was believed to have also attended the concert in Boston, and it sure seems that he or she works at the company. They knew Kristen Cabot's precise title in HR, and they also knew that both executives are married.
Here's why. The claims would be invasion of privacy, emotional distress, and defamation, but you have no expectation of privacy at a concert with tens of thousands of other people. And there are signs indicating that you may be filmed or photographed. And when it comes to defamation, truth is an absolute defense. Of course, they were having an affair. And from a public relations perspective, a lawsuit is an even worse idea because it's going to draw even more attention to the scandal.
According to whispers online, Andy Byron's son, whose name hasn't been publicly confirmed in these discussions, has spoken out about how this scandal has affected him. The rumor suggests he's opened up about the toll it's taken on his social life and mental health, painting a picture of a young person caught in the crossfire of a very public family crisis. This isn't about whether the rumor is true or not. It's about exploring what it would mean for someone in his position, especially a kid dealing with the weight of their parents' actions being broadcast to the world. Imagine being a teenager or young adult, going about your life, school, friends, maybe sports or hobbies, and suddenly, your dad's face is plastered across TikTok, Instagram, and every news outlet. Not for something cool, but for a moment that suggests he's betrayed your family.
I think cheating is an abomination, okay? And this man has a wife, he has children, these kids are gonna have to watch and see this. They don't look, I would be devastated if I was his wife.
Chief Executive Andy Byron has tendered his resignation to the board of directors and they have accepted. The board will begin a search for our next chief executive as co-founder and chief product officer Pete DeJoy continues to serve as interim CEO.
Grace Springer first posted the video being seen around the world.
And it was the reaction from Andy that kind of sealed the deal. He looked pretty guilty.
The company's board of directors accepted that resignation today, saying that it will begin the search for a replacement. In a statement released on the company's LinkedIn page, it says this, that astronomers committed to the values and culture that have guided us since our founding. Our leaders are expected to set the standard in both conduct and accountability, and recently that standard was not met.
It doesn't take a scientist to figure out that they didn't want us to see whatever we saw.
Yeah. Man, he dropped out real quick and she turned.
Yeah, because he just realized how many millions of dollars he lost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, it's like, if he didn't freak out, no one would have any idea that this had happened whatsoever.
True.
The Coldplay kiss cam clip wasn't just a fleeting embarrassment. It became a global meme fest. People were reenacting the duck and cover moment at sports games. Brands were making cheeky ads, and strangers were debating your family's drama online. For a kid, that's not just a headline. It's a personal earthquake. Your dad's not just your dad anymore. He's the guy from the kiss cam disaster. The rumor claims Byron's son has talked about how this has messed with his social life. Think about it. At school or college, people aren't subtle. Classmates might whisper, point, or even joke about it to your face. Yo, is that your dad on TikTok? Or, did you see the Coldplay thing? Those kinds of comments, even if meant as a joke, can sting. Friends might distance themselves, not because they don't like you, but because the situation is awkward.
It definitely caught everyone's attention, especially because Chris made the announcement, kind of questioning their reaction.
Former Astronomer CEO Andy Byron is reportedly thinking about suing Coldplay and singer Chris Martin for the kiss cam scandal. This is a terrible idea.
Since the incident, scores of people globally have created a stream of endless memes on the scandal.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay?
You sure about that? You sure about that?
Can you feel the tension? Oh, look at these two. All right.
What are we gonna do? My wife is here.
You said she's in row P. She won't even see us.
Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
While others have relished the opportunity to recreate the now infamous moment.
Astronomer HR Chief Kristen Cabot has been seen for the first time since the Coldplay kiss cam scandal that led to her resignation.
What? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
A CEO and HR professional. Like, the definition of her job is to be like, by the way, don't do workplace romance. Like, that's one of her top.
New people might already have an opinion about you before you even meet them, thanks to a quick Google search. Social media, where most young people live, becomes a minefield. Every notification could be another meme, another comment, another reminder that your family's private pain is public entertainment. It's not hard to see how that could make someone feel isolated, like they're carrying a spotlight they didn't ask for. Then there's the mental health angle. The rumor suggests Byron's son has been struggling emotionally, and that's not hard to believe when you consider the context. Having a parent involved in a scandal like this can bring up a whirlwind of feelings: anger, shame, confusion, maybe even guilt for feeling those things. You might wonder why your dad made the choices he did, or what it means for your family's future. If the rumors are true, and his parents are heading toward divorce, that's another layer of stress. Add to that the public scrutiny, knowing strangers are dissecting your life, judging your family, or even sending messages directly to you online. It's a lot for anyone, let alone someone young who's still figuring out who they are. This kind of situation can hit mental health hard. Studies show that public shaming, even indirectly through a family member, can lead to anxiety, depression, or a sense of helplessness. For a young person, the pressure of being the kid of that guy could make it tough to focus on schoolwork, maintain relationships, or even feel safe in public spaces. Therapy or counseling might help, but not everyone has access to that, and even then, it's a process. The rumor doesn't specify how Byron's son is coping, but it's easy to imagine sleepless nights, endless scrolling through comments about your family, or just feeling like you can't escape the shadow of that 15-second clip.
Society loves to be mad at cheaters. Like, remember Scandival, the Vanderpump Rules saga? It was like the biggest story of 2023. The president of the United States at the time weighed in on it because people love to be mad when people are caught cheating. We just relate to it. It's just something that like brings society together. And finally, I do think that it involves...
He's married with teenage children. Kristen Cabot has been divorced for 3 years. She was hired just 8 months ago. And now that 15 seconds of video is having a devastating impact on both of their lives. The New York Post front page headline, Dumbotron. I spoke with workplace expert Stephen Viscusi.
This requires, to me, not one, but 2 resignations.
The moment they realize the camera is on them, it is like, oh my God, and the guy like ducks, the woman turns around. And I mean, guys, it took the internet maybe an hour to figure out who these people are and to discover that the man is the CEO of a huge data company and that the woman that he was canoodling with was his chief people officer. So that is like the person that is over HR.
What makes this rumor hit harder is the broader context of the scandal. Andy Byron wasn't just any concert goer. He was a high-profile CEO. His life, and by extension his family's, was already under a certain level of scrutiny. When the kiss cam moment went viral, it didn't just expose a personal misstep. It sparked debates about workplace ethics, power dynamics, and even privacy in public spaces. Some defended Byron, arguing that concert-goers shouldn't expect privacy, especially with signs warning about being filmed. Others saw it as a cautionary tale about digital karma, where one moment can unravel a career and a family. For his son, though, these debates aren't abstract. They're about his dad, his mom, and his own life being picked apart by strangers.
There's a part of people that they're looking at these 2 individuals and obviously not wanting the damning part for the family. Because I do say, you know, my heart goes out to the children and the partners of these people who are having to watch this all play out. But the bigger thing people aren't talking about is how a CEO of a company should never be dating the head of HR.
We've now learned that the technology company Astronomer has announced that its CEO, Andy Byron, seen here, as you saw, embracing a woman who is not his wife, has resigned from the company.
Here's Astronomer's leadership. This is Andy Byron. And right down here is the Chief People Officer. There you go. Kristen Cabot, Chief People Officer. Although the weird thing is that if you click on their LinkedIns and poof, they're gone. Deleted their LinkedIns. Too bad, you know? They'll be a scumbag. And if you are a scumbag, then, well, I guess you deserve this.
The rumor also touches on how this has affected the family dynamic. If Byron's son is speaking out, it suggests he's grappling with more than just external judgment. There's the internal stuff. How do you talk to your dad after something like this? How do you support your mom, who's likely dealing with her own pain? Megan Kerrigan Byron, Andy's wife, has been mentioned in reports as an educator and mother of 2, but she stayed out of the spotlight. If the rumor holds any weight, her son might be feeling protective of her, angry at his dad, or stuck in the middle, trying to keep the family together while the world watches. That's a heavy burden for anyone, let alone a young person.
Over the weekend, 50-year-old Andy Byron resigned as CEO of Astronomer. A company statement said, "Our leaders are expected to set the standard in both conduct and accountability. Recently, that standard was not met." 52-year-old Kristen Cabot's fate still hangs in the balance. She's married to Andrew Cabot, heir to one of New England's oldest and most prestigious families, the Cabots.
This is my casino. Step out. Bring your money.
Cabot is a CEO of a boutique rum company. Here he is at a tasting in Paris. Those few seconds of video at the Coldplay concert are triggering a cultural tsunami. People are even betting online on whether the marriages survive.
Social media's role in this can't be overstated. Platforms like TikTok and X turned this into a global spectacle. Comments ranged from brutal, he went from smiling to frowning faster than the blood drained from his face, to sympathetic, with some pointing out the human cost, especially for the families. One TikTok user wrote, "Can we just take a moment to recognize Chris Martin's instinctual and factual observation of the situation?" While another said, "Bet if they didn't react, none of this would have been viral." For Byron's son, scrolling through these comments would be like walking through a digital gauntlet. Every like, share, or retweet keeps the story alive, making it harder to move on. There's also the question of what happens next. If the rumor is true, and Byron's son is speaking out, It could be a way to reclaim some control over the narrative. Maybe he's trying to humanize the story, to remind people that behind the memes are real people with real feelings. Or maybe he's just venting, trying to process the chaos. Either way, it's a bold move in a world where every word can be screenshot, shared, and twisted. Speaking out could bring support from some corners, but it could also invite more scrutiny, more trolls, more judgment. It's a gamble. And for a young person already dealing with so much, that takes guts. Let's zoom out for a second. This rumor, whether it's true or not, highlights something bigger: the human cost of viral moments. The internet loves a scandal, but it's easy to forget that the people involved aren't just characters in a drama. They're parents, spouses, kids. For Andy Byron's son, the kiss cam clip wasn't just a viral hit. It was a moment that reshaped his world. Friendships might be strained, trust in family might be shaken, and mental health could take a hit that lasts long after the memes fade. The rumor suggests he's feeling that weight, and it's a reminder that the internet's appetite for drama can leave real scars. So, what do you think? If this rumor about Andy Byron's son speaking out is true, what does it say about the impact of public scandals on families? How would you handle being in his shoes? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your take. And if you found this deep dive into the Coldplay Kiss Cam saga interesting, give us a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.